every time I turn around. Y'all, I hope that y'all hear me, because my window is down. I'm trying to get some fresh air. Something just came to me and was like, every time I turn around, or whatever, like the same thing and the same cycles. Every time I turn around, someone is feeling like every time I turn around, like certain things were happening. The same cycles was happening. The same things were happening, maybe with different people, but they were occurring, and you were like, no. In this season, you like, I'm tired of that. Every time I turn around, or whatever. Nevertheless, like I told you guys, I mean it. I'm not going to be coming and speaking a lot, because behind the scene, I got people that journalize me or whatever. People can think that you're not so smart, that you don't use the proper language, that you break words down into smaller terms, whatever. But it doesn't matter when it comes to someone being able to take whatever it is that you use or you speak or you do and use it. Okay? I don't give a damn if you a homeless person, if a person sees that. So, nevertheless, what I'm trying to get at, it doesn't matter where you come from. Most of the richest person, or rich people or whatever, they had to go get some books. They had to go do something to become rich, and some of them may have not even gotten rich off of a legitimate way. They could have got rich in an improper way, the wrong way. They may have been doing it, behind the scenes and undercover or whatever, to the point to where it was different than, the cops just legitimately knowing that someone is selling drugs, they're prostituting, they're selling something, illegal, they're doing something illegal, and the cops is on to them. It's 1,000 ways that people are still, people are hungry for fame, for money, for all of these things or whatever. And that's what I'm on right now. Okay? It doesn't matter. You're not going to that's the thing. We're not going to sugarcoat anything or whatever, because, I study the Bible and I believe in it, because nevertheless, and the reason for me believing in it, because everything that's in there, I've seen it happen in the physical, in the world. So if you got someone that's just not believing, or believing in false gods, or believing in something else, then that's their prerogative. They choose to not see. They choose to not want to know the truth or whatever. So that's why they don't believe in the Bible and don't believe in the words that come out of it or whatever. So, nevertheless, like I'm stating or whatever, what I'm on is people will try to belittle you. They will try to throw you under the bus. They will try to make you look underneath them. They will try to make you look like you're not smart enough. Like I'm saying, you're not using terminology properly. You're not speaking correctly, or you're speaking to the point to where you're not trying to, you're not sounding so smart or so bright. You could use small terms, small words, small terminology. I mean, not small terminology. You can use terminology in a ghetto way. You can use it in a proper way. You can use it in a smart way. You can use it out of the dictionary. You can use it in 1,000 ways or whatever, or be used in 1,000 ways that is underneath the level of what someone else used that could, could have just been like very smart. It could have been just like my son or whatever. He was always in pre-AP classes. Like, he tried to hang with street people, but my son is more smart, like with, like he know a lot of book smart things. Whereas for me and my daughter, also one of my daughters or whatever, she's like that. And whereas me and my oldest daughter can work. She don't need the manual or anything. All she have to do is like maybe Google something or look at something one time or whatever. She works good with her hands. My daughter, and she's the one that's very picky, and she got OCD, and she like everything to be clean, and she's, a neat freak, and, she have to have her, not only, the thing that I like about my oldest daughter, she don't only worry about her outer appearance. She's not like that. She, you know what I'm saying? She really, she have, just as all of us do, we have all of our flaws, and we have our little things, nits and gnats that, or whatever, but that daughter also is the one that she don't care. Whatever she wants it, and she's gonna get it, and she don't care how she get it. I mean, nevertheless, like, she's not gonna just go prostitute or anything like that to get what she wants, but she don't care. She'll go to work. She have to be doing 2 or 3 different things because it's different things that she want, and she, or whatever that she she just have to think she has to have it or whatever, to the point to where, and I started telling her also, like, that's really being a problem for us as a family, because we're supposed to be doing this business or doing whatever together. And then if it's something that you want to do or whatever, you don't care. You're going to take out for whatever it is, and you're going to do it or whatever, Whereas, she don't care or whatever. And she work good with her hands. She can work on cars. She know how to build things. And, she's the light complected one that's real, and she's pretty. And she, me and my kids, nevertheless, also, the reason for me even making this video, I want to talk to you guys about, sometimes they say that someone in your family, because for a while, when my mother passed away, I kept hearing it, but I still hear it or whatever, because I'm thinking like maybe my sister or my grandmother or my mother or someone had money that they had saved up or they were trying to give me or whatever that I never received. And they kept saying that my aunt had signed the paper, signed the insurance paper, did something for this money. And they kept saying it was an aunt. It was an aunt that signed it, and they have, this money that was left to me or whatever. Here's the trick, y'all, is what God have came and told me. You could have been a person that wasn't fully walking in your giftings, fully being used by God and walking in your purpose. And so you've been over here on the back end of whatever, not really fully walking into your purpose, not really doing the things that could really bring you wealth and, for you to gain physical material or whatever, to live abundant or whatever. You could have been a person that wasn't even tapped in to your gifting, wasn't even aware that you had a gifting that you could use to make you money or whatever. And so bam, your mother or your father or whomever, grandmother that was taking care of you, or whomever, your sister, whatnot, that was taking care of you or whatever, they passed away. And you hear these readers stating you were left money. You were left money. Do you know that after one of your loved ones die and go on and pass over or whatever, it can trigger something in you to start walking into your, or lead you to your abundance. And I'm talking about, this is spiritual abundance that you have been had basically all your life, that you hadn't tapped into, that you wasn't aware that you had to even use to bring you abundance. After one of your loved ones, a parent, a father, a sister, whomever you had been around and was very close to or whatever, after they pass on and pass over, it can ignite ignite a trigger in you, or it can ignite a what do you call it? I'll be up on here forgetting, and I can talk so plain out in the physical, like to people, like use proper terms, everything. I get on here and get stuck, be talking, I don't know, however, but it can ignite something inside of you that could spark, it could ignite a spark in you to give you knowledge of knowing that you got these giftings that are to be used in the world that could bring you abundance. After one of your loved ones pass over, it could do that. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and so forth as well. It doesn't mean, like, you may hear readers say that one of your loved ones left you money. When one of your loved ones passed on, it could ignite a spark in you that give you knowledge of knowing that you have spiritual giftings and abundance that are to be used, that could bring you wealth in the physical form. So that's another thing. So, you got to, but you have to know spiritually, you have to be able to go to God and ask Him, or if you feel that it's something that's changing in you and that you can do a certain thing, talent or something that you had never been using before, you have that spiritual abundance of talents and giftings that are to be used and brought forth in the physical form to bring you abundance. And your deceased loved ones triggered or ignited a spark in you after they passed because you started feeling so emotional and so, it sparked something up in you to give you a feeling of emotions that were overpouring from the hurt or the pain that you felt from this close loved one that you used to be so close with, that are now deceased and have passed on. So guys, you have to be aware of that as well too. So it doesn't always mean, see, that's another thing that's getting people in trouble as well, where people think like, oh wow, they think that abundance is always shown physically by money, and that's not true. You can have an overload of abundance spiritually on the inside of you, of talents that you could use, that could bring you abundance physically, and you could be very rich spiritually and in talents that could outweigh any amount of dollars that a person have in the physical, because you don't know how this rich person got this abundance that's rich in the physical form. They could have stole it. They could have took it. They could have been deceptive to get it. They could have been manipulative to get it. They could have cheated to get it. They could have, you don't know. You don't know. Most of these ugly people, yes. I mean, most of these rich people, a lot of them, they are snobby, they are stuck up, they are people that think that they are on high grounds where they can't be touched or whatever. No, what God is also just showing us and telling us is it doesn't matter who you are, you still can be taken up out of here. No, what I feel that poor people have problems. And a lot of them, they don't have anywhere to sleep. They don't be having food. They don't know what they're going to do from day to day. They have struggles. They have low vibrational struggles. And some of them aren't low vibrational just because they're poor. They're not. Or whatever. Some of these people are poor and are more spiritually abundant than anything you know. They just don't have the mind capacity or the mental or whatever to get them out of the mud hole of being poor. They don't know how to go about using their talents and their giftings that they have spiritually and abundantly, spiritually abundant. They don't know how, because they have been stuck and stagnated and brought up in a small-minded capacity to where they never tried to get themselves out of where they were. They chose to stay stuck. So therefore they wasn't able to use their giftings, even being poor, or they were able to use their giftings. They just didn't, like I'm stating, they didn't know how, or they didn't know how to go about doing it, or they couldn't find the proper manner to use their giftings to get them out of being poor or in poverty or whatever. Whereas rich people or whatever, you got some that they didn't care what they did to become rich or famous. They stepped on people, they cheated people, they lied on people. People even died or whatever for them to be rich. And they know who they are. And then they get to the top. A lot of times, if your mental capacity is not in the proper place, or your mental capacity is not on the proper level, or isn't being operated spiritually in the light, and you're rich, money could be the worst thing there is for you, because money could take you and destroy you, take you to drugs, take you to doing overdoses, take you, because after all it is or whatever, you've done everything there is to do in the world, and you can do and have anything you want from being rich or whatever, and you try all of that and it still isn't pleasing. It's unpleasing to the spirit. You're still feeling empty or whatever, to the point to where you're rich and it drive you to kill yourself because you don't have anything else to do, because you have done all there was to do. And you know that you can do anything you want. Money brings power, where, you know, you could give orders, you could have people do things for you, you could do this, you could do, it could be more of harm for a person to be rich if their mental capacity and they're not healthy mentally. If they're mentally sick and they're rich and they choose not to change their ways and live on a high vibration, and they're on a low vibration, but they're rich, it can destroy you. Okay? So, guys, also being poor can destroy you. It go both ways. It's up to you. You have to have the right. You have to be living right. You have to know that you're going to be right with yourself and everyone else around you. You have to come into the realization of, you know, I know that I have this money, but, you know, you have to have a healthy mental state, whether being rich or poor, because it can destroy you. Okay? So, guys, you know, take that as is. You know, I hope you guys have a great, blessed day. We're on a spiritual road path here. Again, I just gave out information that is going to help a lot of people. I can't afford to continue to do that. So, you know, I'm coming up with another solution, you know, that will help me in the near future, help you guys, or whatever, you know, on a level of no one's being cheated, being deceived, being lied to, being taken from, being taken advantage of, and so forth. So you guys, y'all have a blessed day, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.